Welcome. We really appreciate everybody being here. I think we've got an exciting few days ahead of us, and my portion is going to go through some of what we did in 2017, some of the successes we've had because of you, and then a little bit about where we're heading in 18. Paul did a good job of laying out the smart enterprise and the strategy that we have and that we have had. But many of you may not know that he's actually the father of smart enterprise. It started in EMEA several years before, a couple of years before we brought it to the U.S., and it's really taken off and it's really working for us. So I appreciate the leadership out of EMEA, and now that we're working closer together, I think we're going to be even stronger. So I'm going to give you a little bit about state of business, but before I start, I just want to first of all welcome all of the partners here, all of the solution integrators. Thank you all for being here. The distributors that are here today as well, our value-added resellers, our partners from Canada that have also joined us, our partners from LASK, thank you very much for making the trip up, and then also our industry consultants. We really appreciate the consultants take part in this event. I think it's an important place to get the information, get where we're headed in the industry, so we really appreciate the consultants, and also, of course, our event sponsors. Without you, the event would not be the same, so we really appreciate all of the sponsors as well. I'm just going to go back a couple of few years here, and I'm doing this for a reason. In 2013, I put this slide up here as a what helps me sleep at night. You get a puppy, it keeps your mind off into other things. But many of you have asked about Gus over the years since this was put up. So I just wanted to first say thank you for those kind words and asking about my dog. And I'll give you a little update on what they look like now. So that's Gus over there on the right, and how he's got a little sister, Molly. And that is the exact look he gives me when I'm tired of throwing his toy. But we have a really good time together. It's what we do on the weekends, and I really, anyway, just wanted to give you a little bit about my life with my dogs. We're going to do a little bit about FY17 review. We're going to talk about our continued transformation, both from our perspective as well as our partners, and where we see some successes. We're going to talk about some of the wins, celebrating some of the wins that we have, and also FY18 path to success. So first, a year in review. A little bit of recognition. Some of these were mentioned, but we did receive the top 100 most sustainable companies this past year, which means we've got smart warehouse, and we've got smart factories. We're very efficient with the energy we use, very efficient with the carbon, very efficient with water, and we're recognized for that as a global leader there. We also number one again with the National Institute of Standards and Technology with our facial recognition. You'll hear about that throughout the conference. You heard Paul mention the Frost & Sullivan Award. Very proud that they've recognized NEC Smart Enterprise approach to business and approach to the market, and they've recognized us as a leader. And then we've also teamed up with the LPGA, not only for some branding and some recognition that helps our brand, but also as a technology partner. They're using our technology. They use our facial recognition at some of the events for security. They've also got our UC products in place, and they're continuing to evolve and really becoming a good technology partner for NEC. We also got some updates on some market share slides. So the first, global total line shipped in 2017. We were the global leader in 2017, number one worldwide for global shipments. And if you look at the little note at the bottom, yeah, thank you. Yeah. And it's many thanks to everybody in this room. The U.S., Canada, and Latin America are a big part of the global numbers. But if you look at North America shipments in 2017, we increased by 2% over 2016. That's the best performance of any manufacturer in North America. So we should be very proud of what we accomplished. We also, for the third year running, number one SMB worldwide, and that's for 100 lines and below. There's many partners in here that sell our SMB, and I'm going to talk about just what those numbers look like and the contribution that you guys have made to the worldwide numbers to keep us number one 3 years running. So 17 was a good year. You heard Mark talk about that we made our numbers, and we did. And it was a significant achievement because we do put some challenging numbers out there for us. We like to challenge ourselves, and I'm happy to say that we hit 100% of our goal for the year. And it was a great year, and that's really in thanks to all of you. So really give yourselves a round of applause, please. And that represents about 5% growth. With our smart enterprise approach, that is working and that's helping us. But we have to also remember the UC market itself is one that's flat. So when we talk about growing, we're growing a little bit more than 5% because depending on whose numbers you look at, some of the UC numbers and the growth of the voice market is a little bit down. So it's a significant achievement that we're able to grow with all of your help. So we appreciate that. The Smart Partner Program, most of you are part of that program, and if you're not part of the Smart Rewards Program, the Smart Partner Program, you really should be. There's no downside in being part of it. In fact, you're automatically enrolled this year when you renewed your contracts. So everybody's enrolled in the program, and it's fairly easy to qualify for that Single Diamond Award. And when you get to that Single Diamond Award, now you're talking about receiving rebates, co-op, and investments back into your business from NEC. So please pay attention to that. It's a big driver for a lot of our business, and I think it helps. A lot of funding goes back into your businesses, into your bottom line. So this year, we paid out almost $1.8 million in rebates and co-ops, and that goes right, again, back to your bottom line. And that's a 36% increase over FY16. So, good. Thank you. We also tried to make sure that we're giving the proper rewards and incentives to your sales folks and your teams out there. So we have what we call that Smart Rewards program. And in FY17, we paid out about $135,000 on these little gift cards that your folks use. And they get recharged as you purchase more and look to sell more equipment. But the unique thing in what we're trying to do is also change the behavior. So the point system and the value system is more on smart enterprise, more on applications, not just selling the box. So we're trying to change that behavior as well, and we see that beginning to work. We also just added a new spiff just recently for MyTel short-tail replacements. So if you're going to replace a short-tail or a MyTel, there's some money into it for the sales folks. Continued transformation. FY17 was a big year for us to transfer our organization and our business, and we really did it in 4 specific areas. We changed the organization around a little bit. We added some business development folks to help go out and encourage business and help you guys sell more and get more leads and trying to build some of that demand. We've also done a lot with our direct, which I'll talk about in a moment. And then everything is about solution sales. You heard Mark say in the beginning, right? He wants to transform NEC America into a solution sales company. And it really starts with Smart Enterprise, and it starts with us. And I think we're beginning to see some successes there. So we changed the organization and we built out a sales operations group headed by Richard Waldrop and Peggy Murphy, who and their teams that do a lot of the work that you're seeing not only at this event, but throughout the year in videos and sales tools and WebExes and all those things. That all comes down out of that sales operations group with of course, the support of ECT. We also have some vertical market experts that are part of that group. So the SMEs that you might be familiar with for hospitality, for education, for hospitality, education, and healthcare, those folks also reside in the sales operations group. And then we also have some subject matter experts as part of that group. And we added some resources to our consultant liaison program run by Kurt Martin. So Kurt has now got some more resources to help with our consultant program and help try and boost that up as well. So a lot of changes from an organizational standpoint. But probably more importantly to everybody in this room is we've added some business development teams. We now have some folks that their entire job is trying to create opportunities, create demand, and try and get that out to the channel partners. So we've got it both for general business, but also with a focus on IT. So we've added some very specific resources just for the IT group. And then we've transformed our channel AMs a little bit. We've got a couple of examples of AMs that are not your typical AM where they're taking care of all of your issues every day, but rather trying to get focused in front of the end user, in front of the customer, and then bring that demand back to you. So we're trying to put some additional resources out there to help move things in the right direction. Probably the most significant, though, changes that we made in 2017 was a complete revamp of our direct organization. We completely changed the strategy and how we go to business with our direct. For many, many years, our direct organization had a separate management team, separately reported into NEC America, and we had some conflict over the years. We also had some directional issues and some things that just weren't clear, and so now we have changed that. We're very, very clear. We're very transparent with our model. We know exactly what their focus is, and we've delivered and messaged that focus to everybody in this room. So we've gone down to what we call a strategic program or set of accounts. We have about 80 strategic accounts. And those strategic accounts are listed in your contracts, so you know them very transparently, that these are the accounts that we want to go after from a direct perspective, and we want to make sure that we nurture those, and we hope to get your support and help with that. And then we transitioned many of the other accounts, about 300 or so, into our channel partners. So depending on where you were in the geography, we have moved a lot of our customers into the channel organization, and we did that intentionally. We wanted to have a very small, direct, focused organization that we could spend the time with those 80 strategics, and we weren't spending the time with some of those others. So we've moved them into your organizations, and hopefully you're seeing the advantage that has given you. We've also moved some of our employees that you have hired. Some have hired throughout this last year. So it was a big transition, a big move in the company, but I think it was the right move because ultimately what we're trying to do is eliminate channel conflict. The majority of what we do is through our channel partners, and we want to make sure that we're doing that in an honest, upfront way. And we want everybody to know exactly what our intentions are, so there's no hidden agenda here, and that's why we did what we did. I'd like to ask the direct group to stand up. We've got Tom back here, Tom Boyhan. We've got Stu and Scott, and I think I see Mike. Could you guys just stand up for a second, please, so they see your faces? Yeah. Oh, Tom's not making it. But just take a look at these guys. If you get an opportunity to talk with them, please do, because they're as much a part of our management team as anyone that's directly supporting the channel. Their interest is in NEC as a whole, not just running that direct organization. So please get with them. There's partner opportunities. There's things we can do together, but get to know them. They're great guys. They understand the mission. So please try and spend some time with you, Kim. Have a drink with them. Do what you need to do, but I would like you to get to know them. We did a lot. Yeah, thanks. We also did a lot to try and progress into more of a solution sales company. We did a lot of SMB road shows. Al Kelly's group is on the road every day of the week doing road shows and getting in front of you and your salespeople to try and continue to keep that enthusiasm going. And when I show you the amount of SL 2100s and SMB and 9100s that we sold this year, it's pretty impressive. So a lot of road shows, a lot to do. You're going to hear about face recognition. We're trying to package up some facial recognition products with our UC offerings, and you'll see some of that at the show. We're doing a lot with IT solutions, a lot of campaigns. The marketing group has been doing a tremendous job in building campaigns and helping us get the messaging out to market. Zimthi is one of the tools that'll be talked about in one of the breakouts. The Smart Champions contest, we did a contest this year, you may remember, where we sent several people to the Masters. And we did that, again, based on trying to change the behavior. You didn't get to the Masters if you were just selling UC. You had to get there with trying to encompass the smart enterprise to sell some of those solutions. And we had a couple of people that went to the Masters and had a wonderful time. People that last week were selling nothing but UC. This week, to get to the Masters, they changed their mindset and actually, I think, helps them develop themselves and their careers going forward. So a good program, you're going to see more of that. And then strategic growth and services. You'll hear Ram and others talk about Blue and how that umbrella is increasing with more services. So we'll talk about that today, this afternoon. And then it's all about improving the customer experience. So all of this is wrapped around trying to improve the customer experience. So a lot of transformation in 2017, but I think we are in a really good position to better serve our partners, to better serve our customers going into 18 and 19. So there's a lot of change going on. That change also bled over to this event. We said, and we consciously all got together and said, let's go back, let's look at all the feedback for the last 4 years. And let's make sure that we do what our partners want us to do at this event. And I hope that you're going to see some positive changes this year. What we did was more breakout opportunities. You know, there was a lot of folks that would tell us over the years, I wanted to go to this breakout, I couldn't get there because the times were right. So we tried to fix that a little bit, more unique sessions, more customer stories. This is really the key. So we have asked every presenter of every breakout, not just to talk about what it is that we do in our speeds and feeds and our solutions, but let's talk about real customer stories, and every one of them has to have customer stories in their presentation, as well as partner experiences. What experiences, what best practices have worked? And so every one of those breakout sessions, I hope you will find value, and you will see what your peers have done successfully, and you'll also see some customer stories that may cue you into some ideas about how I can go to my customer and do that same thing. So trying to replicate the successes. And then smart tracks to guide you. If you're an SMB partner, we've got suggested tracks. We also started something this year. Some of you have already picked up your pins, and I'm going to talk about the amount of years each one of our partners has had. But if you have picked up your pins, they're all about how long you've been a partner of NEC. And I'm going to get to that slide in a moment. But for our 25th anniversary, we decided we wanted to make sure we acknowledge the loyal partners that we have and how long that you've been partnership with NEC. So we wanted to make that a big part of this year. So I talked about we're going to have use cases, we're going to have partner successes, and customer stories. You're going to see that in every one of the breakouts. Exchange, transform, and experience. That's the theme, right? Exchange ideas, exchange stories, exchange best practices. Transform, we all have to look at transforming our businesses and be able to do more than what we did yesterday. And then experience, right? Where are the successes? Where are the success stories? What's the experience? You're going to get good ideas by socializing with other partners in here. You're going to get good ideas from the leaders in the consultant community as to what customers are looking for. Spend the time, make sure that you socialize and spend the time socializing. You have all asked that you wanted more time for that interaction, so we've designed the program around that as well. So celebrating some of our wins. If you look at, this is 2017, almost 20,000 systems in SMB were sold by folks in this room. That is a lot of systems. There was only 250 business days in 2017. That means there were 78 systems a day. So hats off to everybody. You guys are a huge contributor to the reason that we are #1 in the world for SMB. We appreciate everybody's efforts every single day to make these numbers, and it's about 1,000 more systems that we sold in 2016, so the numbers are heading in the right direction. Thank you. We also sold quite a few new logos in the enterprise space, as well as upgraded a lot of our customers as well this last year. You're going to hear in the breakout sessions how this resonates. So a lot of the customer stories that I talked about that are going to be in the breakouts are going to be some of these logos that you see up here on the slide. 2018. So what is it that we're going to do, and what do we need to continue to evolve to? We're going to stick with what works, but we're going to continue to evolve with our smart enterprise. So you heard Paul talk about smart enterprise and what that means to the market. Well, we also had to create some tools to help you and your teams go out and talk about that story. So one of them was, there's an independent executive brief actually that was done by Frost & Sullivan that talks about solving customers' problems around efficiency, agility, and security. So we looked at that piece. We were pretty impressed with what they have done. And there's a lot of what they talk about that we can solve with all the solutions that we have, and what you saw in Paul's presentation about the vast amount of solutions that we are capable of selling. So we did a companion paper. So there's another paper out there that's NEC and Frost & Sullivan working together that talks about their independent study, and now how can we tie that into smart enterprise? How can we make sense to our customers to fill that story? So a couple of good pieces, make sure you get them. You can get the companion white paper online or from your AM account managers. We also have another couple of tools, the smart drivers. If you haven't seen that, download that, please. That's 10 strategic realities of driving the smart enterprise. And then there's also a free ebook that goes through in more detailed explanation. Again, some good tools to help you and your teams. I talked about the sales operations. One of the things that comes out of our sales operations group are these battle cards. We have gotten a lot of feedback from your salespeople that these are invaluable to them because it helps them learn some of the vernacular and some of the things they need to talk about and who they should be talking to about server storage and things that they may not have done in the past, right? All of us, or most of us, come from a voice background, UC background. We all have to learn together. So we're trying to give tools and put tools together that help your folks be successful, and the battle cards have really been successful so far. So I mentioned we're also going to continue to do what we do right, and we're going to continue with the SMB group driving those road shows and making sure that we're continuing to drive product, but also under the Univerge Blue, you're going to see more and more under that umbrella and more success going in the SMB group, so you'll see more of that. The enterprise group, it's all about continuing to give choices. I think we're uniquely positioned as a manufacturer, as a vendor, as a provider, that we can provide the technology any means the customer wants to take that, whether it's cloud, whether it's a hybrid environment, or whether it's on-prem. We can take all our technology and deliver it the way the customer wants it to be delivered. We're not trying, as a company, to force everybody into the cloud. We're not trying to say everything stays on-prem. We're not trying to do any of that. The delivery is really what makes sense for the customer, and we're able to deliver our technologies any way that makes sense. We're going to continue to focus on our vertical markets, where we've had a lot of success over the years, and we'll continue to focus there, continue to develop more solutions. Now with our IT product sets, there are even more tie-ins and solutions that we are creating together. And this year, we all have a really good opportunity with the impending event that is coming up at the end of this year. Every good thing has to come to an end, and we are at the end of the 8000 series. We just can't produce, get parts, and whatever, and we're at a point where we are discontinuing support and parts and add-ons December 31st of this year. So what we have done is tried to provide you with as many tools as possible to help you upgrade your base. And I believe the tool set that we put together on the next slide, I'm going to talk about the promotions, that there's nobody in this room that can't explain to one of your customers why you want to migrate going forward and not entertain our competitors. So there's some very strong promotional pieces. You guys have seen this, the traditional migration promos. That is a like for like, right? So if I had an 8100 and I wanted to go to a 9100, I could take those licenses and I could move them in, which gives me a significant discount for that customer. That's what we have in place today. You've all been using them very successfully, great. But there's a couple of new things that we've added to this so that we hit all areas of the business. One of them is we're making the SWA Amnesty Program, so no reinstatement fee. We're waiving reinstatement fees until September so that everybody can get on the SWA. When you say, why do I want to get on SWA if it's going at end of life? Because if you get the customer on SWA, those migration promos become even deeper. So it pays to get them on SWA, you get a deeper discount for the upgrades, and you're doing your customer a favor, and you're able to convince them to move forward. This one you should have seen about 2 weeks ago, called the Mega Migration. This really changes everything. Because where we had like for like, although it was good and powerful, there's so many customers out there today that have networks, right? There's so many customers that have an 8500 and a couple few 8300s and maybe 10 8100s. Well, you got that network. How can I take advantage of moving all of those licenses? Well, this mega migration is collapse everything into a single 9500, 3C, or Blue. All licenses move forward. You get credit for all licenses across platforms. It doesn't matter which. And I can tell you the first day this came out, we had more quotes coming through because we knew the need was out there and we just had to figure out a way to make it work, and we have. So this should help you drive a lot of the migration this year for your network-based customers. We also want to make sure that we keep everything moving with SMB. So when you do the 81 to 9100 promotion, if they've got software assurance, you're going to get the free hardware warranty, a 5-year hardware warranty on it. And then we've also improved the 81 and UX 5000 upgrade to 91. So again, enhance that program to make it even better than it was. And then with the SMB, you get all licensing and all migration into Blue. So if you want to take your customers to the cloud, and you want to avoid somebody else, cloud company, coming in there and trying to take your customer, this is a way to do it. It's a way to do it that's going to be very, very cost effective and convincing to our customers. So Once again, I want to thank everybody who's here. I really appreciate the support. This is one of our largest turnouts. We've got about 500 people that are here in the audience today. Every one of your logos is up there. Every one of our consultant logos is up there. But what I really wanted to talk about is these service awards. This is something that we took. There was a lot of time and effort that went into this to make sure we got these right. And hopefully we did get them right. But there was a lot of people that worked on this to go back into our records, back as far back as we could, knowing that there were name changes along the way, knowing that folks may have been selling UX 5000 that didn't get recognized. So we went back and we tried to look at all records, and what an impressive list. I don't think, and I will challenge any manufacturer to put up a list like this that has partners that are this loyal and have a relationship with us this long. This is a really testament to you, and we really appreciate the business. So just look at the top 25 years and over. There's 120 partners that have over 25 years with us. 67 over 30 years, 35 years, over 71 partners, and over 40 years, we have 15 partners throughout our network. 3 of those partners are here today with us, so I'd like to ask them to stand up if they are here. Ultronics, there he is in the back. CTEL, yeah. And Valley Communications, Valley. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's just amazing, and we really appreciate the loyalty and the partnership throughout the years. And last but not least, our Advantage sponsors, thank you. We really appreciate sponsorships. The event, again, would not be as good as it can be without some of the generous sponsorships we get from our folks here and our partners. They will all have a booth tonight at the expo, so greatly appreciate you guys can stop by, say hello if you don't know them, and just talk to them about some of their solutions as well. So with that, I thank you very much, and let's have a great conference.